Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Guru. And for the Guru today, we got a very, very great episode, great Halloween edition of the Guru. And we got Lisa Schrage from Prom Night 2. Hello, Mary Lou. Hello, Mary Lou. Prom Night 2. We got Mary Lou herself on the Guru Room show. This is Lisa's first video interview ever, and I'm very happy and excited to talk about the movie with Lisa, and it's going to be a really, really fun time. Her very first video interview ever, and Lisa will be coming up very soon, and we're going to talk about Hello Mary Lou, Prom Night 2, and taking a stroll back to high school days and prom days. So I am Rocco Cross. I am the host of Stutters. I am the host of the Guru Room, and my interview with Mary Lou herself, Lisa, is coming up next.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Do I say, do I have to answer that? Got it?
Oh no.
It says account owner can watch the. I can't read all that. Individuals can share, blah, blah, blah. Got it. I don't know what it said. I'm not a fast reader. So it said, it gave me a message. I just said yes. Sign on the dotted line. Good.
Well, I want to welcome you to Gru, and thank you so much, Lisa, for coming on the show and being a guest. I'm very happy to have you here, and we're like a horror site and a horror show, and you have legions of horror fans from Prom Night 2, and tons of Mary Lou fans, and I thank you again for coming on the show.
You're so sweet. Thank you. That's really great to connect with you. Yeah, good to see you in this interesting way. It's great to be here, and I'm happy to talk to you.
Thank you. Oop, I just hit the microphone. There we go. Okay.
I don't have one. I could wear a headset, but I hope you can hear me well.
Oh yeah.
I had a mic, but I gave it to my son. I had a really good mic anyway. I had to take it. Never knew I'd need it, but yeah. So hopefully you can hear me well.
Oh, definitely. Yes, yeah. Definitely.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay.
So the first thing I want to say, I want to thank you again, because since it's a horror show, we're gonna go back to the halls of Hamilton High School. And, so Prom Night 2 was your very first film, right?
It was. I think it was. Yeah, it was the first. I had done lots and lots of commercials before that, and then yeah, I did that. What year was it? Was it 85? Somewhere around mid 80s. I think it was like 85 or 86. Yeah, it was my first. Yeah, it was my first film. Yeah.
Wow. And like, how did everything come about for Prom Night 2? How did you get cast as Mary Lou?
I auditioned. Yeah, I honestly, I don't remember the actual audition. Mostly auditions, like they're so intense that you don't remember the audition. You might remember other things about, like I remember the waiting room. Looking at other people thinking, I think she might get that. But she didn't. I did. And the next thing I knew that I was going to be Mary Lou, which was a lot of fun to get cast as that part. Like, yeah, I was great for that. Yeah.
And I remember when we first start talking, like you really didn't know that there were like legions of horror fans that made Prom Night 2 like a cult horror film, and it's like really big in the horror world, and even at these horror cons and stuff, like they still sell the movie and merchandise, and it's like a big thing.
Yeah, I had no idea. Like my life went a very different direction, and I didn't know. I mean, a couple people contacted me years ago and invited me to some of the conventions, and I'm like, I don't know anything about these until you were the first one I connected with.
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
a few years ago, and I was surprised. So you kind of you got me back into it. So thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
I did. You asked me for an interview for your magazine, and I'm like, yeah, people are interested in this movie. And since then, people have. I don't know how. I really don't know how the world works and all these kind of social media. Like they
Yeah.
find me somehow in different ways and ask me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm always honored to for people that are interested in that movie. I think things have kind of a time cycle,
Right.
right? So maybe it's a time like for you guys, for you young people, this is like a retro film, right? And the 80s is kind of cool, right? So
Yeah, like that's big now. Like everyone loves that era. Like they're remaking like a whole bunch of horror films from that era and music from that era. Everyone listens
yeah,
to that again. So it's big again. 80s
that's neat.
music and horror is big.
Yeah, you know what? I can see that being a really cool thing because if you go back, the 80s was pretty distinctive, like had very distinctive style, right? We had like our perms, we all had perms, guys and girls, we all had perms, and we had big shoulder pads, and we had a really, and there was very distinctive music that's very 80s, like you go, oh, that's very 80s. So it's a thing, right? I
Mhm.
get the 80s. And so yeah, I think it's fun that people are embracing that time again, right? So
Definitely.
it's great that this film has lasted that long. Yeah, we were surprised. Those of us in it, the people that I connected with, are like, yeah, isn't that neat? So thank you.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
thanks for
And
being interested. Yeah.
and you when 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 we talked and I I asked you to do one of the horror cons, and that was like your very first horror convention you ever did. And
Yeah.
how was that experience like interacting with the fans who are all telling you how much they love the movie and Mary Lou and all that?
I had no idea what that was about. Like I was a little nervous going,
Yeah.
and you were very supportive and connected me with, the one in Toronto, which was a small, I think
Mhm.
it's Horrorama, and the people were beyond fantastic. The fellow running it, Chris, was amazing, and
Okay.
everybody who participated, like all the volunteers, there were lovely, lovely people, and then everybody who came was lovely. Like each individual came, I made, spent some time with them,
Yeah.
like the movie. It was a really wonderful experience. It was a real highlight, and it was before COVID when we
Yeah.
were getting together and interacting close to people.
I
Right?
know.
It was like a very different time, and I loved it. I really enjoyed it. We got, unfortunately, we had 2 days and we got snowed out the next
Oh,
day,
you were
but
telling me that. That was
yeah,
horrible.
huge snowstorm, like November, big surprise, literally overnight, there's like piles and piles of snow.
Oh
So
my
there weren't
god.
that many people the second day, which, especially for all the vendors and everything, I felt sort of sad, but yeah, it was really fun. It was really, I would definitely do that, be with those people again if they invited me. But
Oh,
yeah, it was
nice.
a good experience. I liked it, and it was great to interact with people who knew the film. I
Yes.
brought a few of my own things from the film. Like I had a mask and I had a few things, and then
Nice.
like all that stuff. Yeah,
Oh, nice. That's
fun. It was
awesome.
really fun. Oh, and I reconnected with Bruce. Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yes.
yes, that's
I
right,
hadn't
that's
seen him since
right.
the movie. He was right beside me. And then the Paul Zaza, who did the music, he
Yeah.
was at the next table.
Oh my
So it was
god,
three of us.
really?
Yeah, three of us from prom night. And then Bruce and I did
Wow.
I don't know what you call it, talk, like
Mhm.
with a group of people, a bunch of people actually in a big room, talking about the movie. It was really, I learned lots about the movie from Bruce because we never talked about it before,
Oh,
right?
wow,
So
really?
I learned a lot. Yeah, it was cool. It was really fun. A big
Oh,
surprise.
wow.
Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because even, like, the area where I live at, like, Philadelphia, because Philly, Jersey, like, that area, like, there's a huge horror following here, and the horror conventions here are big too.
Neat. That's great. Well, maybe one day I'll make it to one of those. When if
Yeah,
you cross the border, you don't know that stuff, right?
I know
One day I'll
one day,
go. Maybe we'll meet in person. I'll see you in
right?
person. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
And, like, when you first start doing the film Prom Night 2, how did, did you have an idea on how you wanted Mary Lou to be?
I think I really did. I think when you get a script and you read it, sometimes you really connect with the part and you just like feel like I got this. I
Yeah.
get this person. And I felt that way about Mary Lou the whole time. I felt like I totally get her, and I didn't think about the fact that, it was a horror movie or
Yeah.
like I didn't try to play for the darker parts. I thought
Mhm.
this is somebody I understand and she's been done wrong.
Yeah.
And she's coming back to get what is hers. So I think I got that, and right, I understood her, and she wanted to have fun, and she wasn't. And I think what happened to her was not fair.
I know,
So,
exactly.
right?
Right.
Hey,
I mean,
that was
that's
her crown.
horrible.
So, right?
Yes.
She was going to come back and get that crown. She was very ambitious, right? So
I know.
that's how I saw her. Like, don't get in her way. So, anyway, I connected with her. Yes, I think I did, and I think people got that about her, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I remember watching that movie for the first time, and I was like, oh my God, like all she wants is that crown. They killed her, and of course she's coming back. She wants to get even with everyone, and so
And why not have a little fun when you come back anyway, right? I never see it that she did any, like, I just can't see. I don't think maybe most actors, I don't know, don't play the bad guy for the bad guy. Like, stuff just happened when she came
Mhm.
back. She surprised people. Maybe they fell out a window, something happened, they got a little shocked, they stepped backwards, like things happen, right?
Right,
I
exactly.
just want my crown. Right? And then, so that's how I saw it. And then I think that it made sense. It just made sense, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah, the whole thing had to make sense for her to
yeah,
like carry it through to the very end to get her crown finally.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely. Like that's why I can't really call Mary Lou a horror villain because to me she wasn't a villain.
I'm really grateful for that, Rocky. That she wasn't a villain.
I
She's
know
an
exactly.
ambitious woman, and some guys, these guys got jealous and got in her way for all of that stuff, right? So she had to fix what was wrong. Had to come back and
Yes.
get it right. Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
do
See,
do
we're
justice.
seeing eye to eye.
Yes, we agree on her. Yes, she would be very grateful, right? Not a victim. Not a victim.
I
Right?
know. I know.
Yeah, I don't want to play the victim anyway. I've actually never played a victim. I don't want to play that. The
Oh,
victim.
okay.
Yeah. No, it's not my. I want to at the end, rise above the circumstance. So.
Yes, true. And look, the way you played Mary Lou was absolutely great. I mean, like you had everything down good, and from start to finish. When of course when Mary Lou was human, like you did that good. Then when Mary Lou came back from the dead, you did that great too. Like you definitely had fun playing her, and definitely knew like how to play Mary Lou, like the way she looks at you and everything about Mary Lou, like you did great. I loved it.
You're so sweet. Thank you. And you know what? I really wasn't in it for that long. If you think about how many minutes, I wasn't in it. I don't even know how many minutes I had. But you do remember her. So, right? Because she just keeps coming in the snippets. It really wasn't, right? It
Yeah,
wasn't her
exactly.
movie. It was the 80s group who I wasn't part of that group, the group of
Mhm.
kids, right? So
Yeah,
yeah. But in the end, yeah, she survives them all.
exactly.
Right? And to this day,
I know.
she seems to survive them all. I don't know why, right?
I know.
Crazy as that is. Who knows, right? Who knows?
And the 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 actress that played Vicky,
Mhm.
Wendy Lyon,
Yeah.
She did like a really good job because her character gets possessed by Mary Lou.
Yeah.
And did you ever interact with her during the scenes at all?
No, I didn't interact with her, but I think either I spoke with her or I knew this, that she watched the rushes. So, the dailies, at the end of the day, back in the day when we had theaters and stuff, you'd be able to go to see what you shot,
Hmm.
right? This is what, and I think she would be go and watch the rushes, or she saw what I had done.
Oh, okay.
So I think she took in, right, what I had done and used my character as part of her evolution, right? So we
Nice,
didn't like
nice.
convert together, we didn't meet up, but she was watching. And then she played that, similar to what she saw. So I
Oh,
think
okay.
that's how she did. I think it was a while ago, right? Either
Yeah.
I spoke to her or I read that. I can't remember which it was. I didn't see her a lot because we didn't have any scenes so much together,
Well,
right?
yeah,
She was
exactly.
there at a different time, so we really didn't interact much. My scenes were like just snippets,
Hmm.
and I wasn't with those kids in the 80s. And then of course I was with the 50s, and then at the very end with Louis and Michael at the end.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it was so cool how they put everything together for the film. Like, I mean, Mary Lou was killed, and it was sad. And like you were saying, all she wanted to do was come back and get even and get her crown back. So, she had to kind of possess a girl in order to do that.
Yeah. And I think the ending evolved. I don't remember the original ending. I think they added on. The movie kind of evolved. I'm not sure exactly how the original script was. I think
Hmm.
they added on that bit at the end when they're in the car and they're like, he
Oh,
turns around, and I think they added that. I don't know, asking me about that so that they could do a sequel, which I know they did. I never saw them, but I know they did some sequels, but they kind of
yeah.
made space
I
for that.
I think they made two of them, prom night 3 and 4.
I never saw them, and Bruce and I were not invited to that party. So,
Really?
yeah, we weren't invited. Bruce and I were just like, we weren't invited. We don't know much about it. Like, yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
when they were getting ready to film Prom Night 3, like they didn't even ask you to come back for the role of Mary Lou.
No, I
Wow,
was
that's crazy.
not asked her. No, nothing. Bruce, neither was Bruce. Bruce didn't even shoot the very end of the movie.
Really?
Yeah, not first last scenes. Yeah, unfortunately, and I think he did a brilliant job.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, and yeah, they didn't
Wow.
recognize what they had in us, unfortunately. They
Yeah,
should
it's
have been
crazy.
right. We're still
I
here anyway, but yeah, I mean, whatever. That's how it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, y- Prom Night 2 is still heavily heavily favored by the horror world, and no one really talks about Prom Night 3. So
Yeah,
that's
don't
that's that's
know.
because you didn't come back as Mary Lou.
Don't know, but yeah, I was doing other things by that point. She wasn't
Oh,
on my
okay.
radar anymore, but yeah, kind of weird. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's like, whatever.
you just can't think about that stuff, right? You do your
Right?
job, carry on, you
Yeah.
do the next one, whatever, you can't get attached because you're not in the driver's seat of any of that. That's all the producers and however they see the world and see what
Hmm.
their next moves will be. And they missed that one. Those guys missed it, right? They
Oh,
didn't see it, right?
definitely.
They didn't know what they had. But he
Definitely.
sold the movie to MGM, Peter Simpson, and yeah, it went on to MGM and they own it, I believe now.
Oh, okay. All right. And like the one scene in the movie where Mary Lou gets burned, like that was a crazy scene. Do
Yeah.
you remember how that scene was done?
Yes, I do. That's all a stunt person.
Oh,
And
wow.
I watched that stunt and amazing stunt that she could do that. It's pretty scary. It was real fire. No
Oh,
CGI, right? Nothing fake in
yeah,
those
that's
days.
true.
They
That's
set
true.
that girl on fire. I mean, they did some close-ups. I can't remember how it was done with my face, so you could see me in my face, right? So it looked like that. But the actual burning up, that was a stunt double. And I don't know her name, but good for her. She did a brilliant job and pretty
Wow.
darn scary. I wouldn't do that ever, right? I'm not a stunt person, but yeah, that was a great stunt.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how it's done. They put fire retardant all over her. I don't know. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I
And
don't know if they want to do that anymore. Maybe they do that CGI now. They don't have to do the things that they once
that's
had to do,
true.
right? Or you think about Charlie Chaplin movies or like all those very old movies, they were doing everything themselves.
I know. Isn't that
Buster
crazy?
Keaton, he was jumping from one train to the next. Like literally, those people were doing those stunts.
I know, it's crazy.
Recently, people like risk their lives to do incredible stunts. Now, I don't know. I guess Tom Cruise, I think, still does them. I think he's still
I think
hang
so.
on to some
Yes.
helicopter with one hand. He still does it, but it's very rare, right? That somebody actually wants to risk. He's like superhuman fast, right? Most of us want to play it safe and let the professionals do the job, right?
Right. I mean, why should an actor risk getting hurt when the stunt double gets paid and trained for that? You know.
Exactly. And some of them do a brilliant job like she did. So good for her.
Definitely.
So
And how was it like working with like Mike Ironside and like the rest of the cast?
Yeah, I met Michael. He had already had a pretty established career at that point. So he was the big name in the movie that they got. And of course, him being Canadian, but he spent all those years in the US. So yeah, he was great to work with. And then Justin, who is now Louis Ferrer, went on, right? That was one of his first jobs as well. And he carried on, and we became good friends at the time. We were friends, and he carried on. So they were great to work with. Enjoyed it. Like those are the two people that I remember the most.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael and Justin. Louis.
Nice.
Yeah, they were great.
I mean, I don't know if you remember a lot, but is there like any scene you really loved most from the Prom Night 2 movie?
Any scene. Well, I like the one where she gets the crown. I really like that. I love the light, that big bright light, like the light's on you, and it's like the crown's coming to you, right? I just love that moment. And I think you could see that I like that moment. Like that's the moment. That's right. That's the whole point of the movie, right?
Of course.
You get the crown, you're being crowned, and that was it. And I think then after that, it goes into like the dance and everything, right? So that to me was a beautiful moment that I really remember very clearly and loved. Any others? I kind of wish I got to sing a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
I remember singing, and I've never really got to sing in anything, and I can't remember what song I sang. Some song from the 50s, but that was me singing. I can't remember. Do you remember? There's like a kind of moment. Anyway, I remember singing. I just remember the sound person going, "Oh, that was really good," and I'm like, "Oh, somebody thinks my singing's good. I wish I could do more." Right? So it's a tiny moment. But yeah,
awesome.
That's what I remember. And I like the prom. The prom was fun. It was in a gym we shot in Edmonton, right? And it was in a high school, in a gym. It's like a real prom. It's all sparkly and the stage. And it was like being in a real prom. It was really nice. I like the prom. I love the 50s.
Yes.
I love the 50s costumes.
Yes.
I love the era. So I was already pretty much into vintage stuff and vintage clothes. Like I wore a lot of vintage clothes in my youth. So I was very comfortable wearing the 50s dress and the whole 50s style. I played a lot with that already. That might be another thing that why I resonated with that time.
Exactly.
I was very much, but I didn't keep all those clothes. But in high school, I was that girl wearing all the weird clothes, right? Like weird stuff that nobody else wore. 40s and 50s. I wore like 1920s
Okay.
wedding dress to my own prom. Like I love vintage stuff. So yeah, I guess you guys, 80s is vintage for me, like 50s. Yeah, 50s, 40s was, and you could find that stuff. So anyway, yeah,
Nice.
I love being the 50s. Yeah.
Wow. I mean that's like really awesome to know like they actually had an actual prom set. Like it wasn't just a green screen and
Yeah.
some things that just
That
got
was a
thrown
prom with
together in the
tables,
studio.
people dancing, music, it was a prom. We had a
That's
prom.
awesome. That's awesome.
It's fun. Yeah.
And of course, like one of the big songs is the Mary Lou song from that era.
Yes. What's his name?
Oh my God.
Ronnie Hawkins.
Okay.
Ronnie Hawkins. I think they had a party later to launch the movie, and Ronnie
Mhm.
Hawkins played at that party. I didn't make it.
Really?
Yeah, Ronnie Hawkins. Yeah, well, I think he was singing the song. I'm pretty sure because I didn't go, but yeah, I saw the invite, and yeah, it's a good song.
That
It's a good
really is
song,
good.
right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is. I like it.
yeah,
I mean, it definitely set the film good too, because
yeah,
when they're playing the song for the movie, like, it definitely sets the film right.
yeah. You're right. It really does. It really does, and that really is memorable. That song. Yeah, the music is good. The music is really good. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I think that's a huge part of every movie, right? It's a song, you've got
Yeah,
the music. It's so big, so important.
yeah.
Mhm.
As long as like the songs are good and the different sounds, like especially with I don't know if you ever saw the first Halloween film, like whenever they play like that creepy sound, that creepy
Yeah,
music, you know that
yeah.
Michael Myers is coming. So sound and music has everything to do with a film.
It stays with you, right? That's what you remember. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, you're right.
And like, um, do, would would you like to see a new prom night film and someone stepping into the role of Mary Lou, because the prom night films haven't been made yet. I mean, they made prom night one over, but it has nothing to do with Mary Lou. Like,
They made
what?
Product One, the one that
Mhm.
David Lee Curtis was
Yeah,
in. They
yeah,
make that again?
yeah.
Oh,
They
like
they
the
made
same
that
story?
over.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think, yeah, somebody might want to do that, right? Maybe I
yeah.
can be her mom.
I know, right? That
Yeah, I'll be her mom. Kind of Mini Mary Lou. Yeah, maybe they'll ask me to be your mom. That would be okay.
yeah, like that would be so awesome if someone would
No,
do it, like make prom night two over and have you back in it and someone else playing the role of
yeah,
Mary Lou, and that would be awesome.
it would be. Well, maybe you will set that in motion just by like thinking about it, Rocky. You'll be like, somebody's gonna
Exact-
get the idea. It sounds smart. You've got already people that are keen on the movie, right? So,
right?
like, hey, I think it makes a lot of sense. Maybe they'll
I
shoot it
know.
here somewhere here, right? So
Exactly,
I
exactly.
know that'll happen now that you've said that. Maybe they get Bruce to direct it. I think he'd like that. Maybe he can.
Wow, that would
Something
be
like
awesome. Like the guy who made prom night two
that. I
doing it all
know.
over
You
again.
and I should produce it.
Right? Yeah,
All we need
exactly.
is the money. That's
I know.
it.
Just
We
put it
just
up
get the money.
on.
You and I will do it.
Yeah. Look, all
I
you have to do
know.
is put it up on one of those like the GoFundMe and
Oh,
kick
see, you've already got an idea.
Kickstarter and all that. Like you put
Yes.
that up on that, and you'll definitely get. I mean, especially the horror fans if they know you're going to be part of the film.
Maybe that's your next job,
I
Rocky.
know, I know,
To be a
exactly.
producer. I, I'm,
Okay,
I'm in it. Okay, you got me. I'm signing up. So you just get away.
me.
Yeah, you've got great ideas. It's good.
I try.
You're creative. You got great ideas.
Thank you,
You
thank
make
you.
it happen.
Appreciate that.
Good. And you're not shy to reach out, which I really like. Right?
Mhm.
You reach out, and that's you got it. You got to try in life, right? You got to. What do you have to lose?
Right?
You reach out. You like the worst could happen is somebody says no.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. I mean, I've gotten told no so many. I got told more. I got told no more than I got told yes from people.
You hear that all the time.
Hmm.
Like I just finished a really good book. I read a lot. I'm a huge reader, and the guy got told no 30 times on his book. He sent it to like out 30 times. He just won, I don't know if you know, the Booker Prize, which is the award for the best book in the UK.
Oh
I
wow.
mean, and that's his first book, and he got, you just getting told no
Yeah,
until he got a yes,
yeah.
right? And you hear that story all the time.
Oh, I know.
So anything you want to do, you just keep going. You gotta like keep going until you get a yes, right? A few yeses, and then a yes gets another yes, right?
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 Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Keep going. Keep moving.
I definitely. I try.
Yeah.
I'm trying with this, and
I
I'm
know. You're getting good
hoping
response.
to do something more with this and actually make money off of this, and actually do something I love doing and get paid for it, and instead of
Yeah.
doing my regular job that I don't like.
That's how it evolves, right? You do the thing you're passionate about, you do it for a while without making money, because most people don't make money at the beginning,
Yeah,
and then you just keep going until one day you actually start, you start to get the fruits of your labor returned to
exactly.
you, right? In
Exactly.
some financial form. And the best part is if you do it out of something you really are passionate about, right? You're not doing it to make the money. The
Hmm.
money comes because you're doing something you love. And that's way more authentic than just trying to get, the money,
Well, yeah,
right?
yeah, true, true. Like,
I think anyway, yeah. It just
like
takes patience and perseverance, belief, right?
I know
All that.
you have to have passion for it. Like, if you don't have passion for it, there's no need to do it.
Yeah, it has to come from that place. It has to come from your own like authentic place of wanting to do
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
And like one thing about prom like too, was there, if you could remember, was there any really funny stories that happened while you were on set? Because how, like, when the cameras stop rolling, like the cast hang out and make jokes and play pranks and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah. The other person that I hadn't mentioned who was brilliant is Richard Monette. He played the priest. Do you remember him? He
Yes,
played the adult
yes.
priest, right? Um, yeah, what's the character? Is he Billy? Is he called Billy? Is that what he's called, Billy? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's a very funny man who's incredibly talented. He ran Stratford for a while. He was the artistic director of Stratford
Oh
until he
wow.
died. Right, very accomplished actor and director. And we all went out for lunch, right, in our costumes.
Oh
And he
no.
was in his priest costume, right, with the collar and everything, the white collar. And there he was a very flamboyant person, and he was
Uh,
smoking and ordering a drink in his priest costume. He's like playing it up, right? And we thought it was very funny, right? It's a side joke for whoever, for whoever the restaurant people, right? So this priest is doing all of that. I thought that was sort of fun. For me, it was fun, anyways, because he was like that. And he's very, very campy, and he was a witty guy. So yeah, I thought he was a lot of fun. That was to me that was the funniest moment. Yeah,
nice.
yeah, and memorable because he's a pretty special person.
Yeah.
Passed away now, so in our history of theater. So yeah, impressed. Yeah, to be with him.
Oh,
So I was lucky to be with him, and so that, and also yeah, that was fun. I can't think of anything else that was really like, anecdotally kind of fun. Like I was in that dress, right? So I often didn't even get to go for lunch because I couldn't get out of the dress because I'm all strapped into the dress.
oh
So I
no.
mostly like hung out by myself in the lunch times. They had like, ordered a sandwich or something, but yeah,
Okay.
that was all. I couldn't change or anything like that. So mostly I stayed in by
Oh
myself.
wow.
It was sort of like on my own part of the movie, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody else was in a group and they were all friends and like they had a clique. I just
hmm.
had me, right? And then the few people I had kind of betrayed me. So it's just me by myself.
Oh
Pretty
no.
much, right? If you think about it, right?
Oh wow,
I
that's
have my own
crazy.
little part in the movie, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy because like Mary Lou is the character everyone talks about from the film.
I know, but maybe people identify because we all kind of feel alone, like we're all in our own little part, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know why she lasts so long. It's a
Right.
mystery to me, right? Why she's still lasts. I think because she had this joie de vivre, like she was gonna rise above that circumstance no matter what. Don't get in my way.
Exactly.
Go it, right?
Exactly.
Right? Like we were talking about before, have a purpose and move through it, right? And everybody gets your way, even if they burn you up, they're not getting don't get in my way. Even the little ashes on me,
I know exactly.
moving forward, right? Just wipe off those ashes and carry on, right?
Exactly. And today is Halloween. I don't know if you're a big Halloween person, but are you dressing up or going out to any parties or
Oh,
anything?
I do have a witch's hat. I always have kept it. I've moved many times and I will not get rid of my witch's hat. I should have worn it. It's my closet. I should have worn it here. I didn't even think about it, Rocky. Oh gosh.
That's all right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just have it. I should have worn it. Anyway, I should go grab it. I got a big witch's hat. I don't know. Kids will come to my house. My own kids have grown up. They were huge Halloween fans. My
Okay.
older son, he's in the metal music. It's into all
Nice.
that, And we used to go. He used to make these huge. Our whole lawn was all, done up. But he moved out. He grew up, so I don't really have anybody around to make Halloween fun, right? It's more
Gotcha.
right. So yeah, I'm not doing anything, and I'm sorry I didn't wear my witch's hat. I do. Still love witches. I love witches.
Okay.
That's my only kind of connection to it. And I don't think, again, like Mary Lou, I don't think they meant anything dark.
Well,
I think
yeah.
witches, right? I like magic, and I like the magic in life, that we all find some magic in life. And yeah, I like everything that witches represent and have done through time. So that's the only part I think I relate to in terms of Halloween.
Okay. I don't know.
I'd love to play a witch. That would be my next. If I ever got to, I don't even act anymore, but if somebody invited me, I would love to play a witch.
Oh, see that? You definitely should.
I always thought I should. Yeah. But I
Nice.
never got to play a witch. Not yet.
Oh.
Maybe my next chapter. If I,
Well, if we get the Prom Night 2 movie going, you could play a witch in the movie.
That would be good. No, that's your next movie. After we do Prom Night.
Yeah, true.
After Prom Night, your next one, we'll do the witchy one.
Okay, there you go.
There we go. We got it.
So like no Halloween parties or anything tonight.
Oh.
Handing out candy for trick or treating with the witch hat.
With the witch, if somebody came to my door, I'd wear the witch hat.
Okay.
If they come to me, I will wear the witch hat. I'm sorry I didn't wear it. Just think of it. I know it's Halloween. Excuse me.
And
I got upstairs, but take too long.
And like, what about horror films? Are you a horror fan at all? Like, do you like watching horror films? Oh, really?
No, even in any, like, I can't look at anything scary, or I'm too sensitive.
Oh, wow.
Too easily. I'm, I don't like to be scared. Don't like anything dark. Any spooky stuff, I kind of like scary for me. Too sensitive. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, was there ever any horror film you ever watched, like around Halloween season or anything?
Well, only the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it's not horror.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a huge fan of that. I met Tim Curry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I used to do the Time Warp dance and all that. So
nice.
Yes, that would have been something and I went to, back in the day, that's when it came out in the 80s, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd go to the theater and you watched the movie. I think it was Halloween. Around Halloween, we watched that movie. Let's do the time warp.
Yes,
again.
exactly.
A little step to the left. We did the dance. Yes. So that would be my closest to a horror movie, but it's not very dark. It's more fun, right?
Well,
Musical.
it's a great film to watch during Halloween month. Like,
Yes.
I mean, they still play it yet. Like, I mean, the movie theaters that are actually open, like
Yeah.
they actually still play it like during
Oh, it should.
Halloween month.
It's
Yeah.
timeless. It's such a good movie.
Hmm.
I love it. I love Tim Curry in it. He's so good.
I know.
Love
I
him.
know.
He's
That
really great. Yeah, it's classic. It will
amazing
never go
role.
away.
Oh
Yeah,
no. Yeah.
did
Yeah.
phenomenal job. And having met him, I met him in person. He was lovely. He was
Oh,
a lot of
nice.
fun. He was lovely. Yeah, my husband worked with him later on Wise Guy. It was a show in the 80s.
Okay.
He'll probably
Okay.
come back to, yeah. And a lot of people were on that show, like Kevin Spacey, and I mean a lot of musicians were on that show. That
Mhm.
Fry was on that show. Yeah. Anyways, Tim Curry did an arc on the show,
Nice.
and so I got to meet him. Yeah,
Oh wow,
which was
that's
big.
so
And
awesome.
that was also in the 80s when I met him. It was shortly after that, wasn't that long after I'd been watching that film, so I was still a big fan. Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's so awesome to meet him.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So that would be my movie.
Okay.
And the music, right? This is the music
Mhm.
that really made it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And like,
Right,
what?
Janet. I don't know all the lines. Do you remember that? Janet. You do?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Brad and Janet. That was Susan Sarandon.
I
Remember?
know. I know. Like,
Janet.
wasn't that like one of her first roles, or like her
I think so.
very first role? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe
Mhm.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. That movie doesn't get old. Like it's as big now as it was then.
Totally. Yeah. I know. It's
Same
good.
thing with Prom Night too. I think it's bigger now than when it first came out.
Well, we didn't have. Well, video was just starting, right?
Yeah,
Remember,
yeah.
we had cassettes. I think I still have my VHS cassette
Oh,
of,
nice,
of this.
nice.
Of Mary Lou. And yeah, it was just starting, so people didn't have the access to see things. They'd have to go to the theater. Whereas now, I was somewhere a couple days ago buying like my chicken at the grocery store.
Yeah.
The person behind the counter said, "Oh, I saw Mary Lou. It showed up on my Netflix, whatever. You might like this." Because she watches 80s movies, right? So all you have to do is click now.
Well,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Right. Back then you had to make more effort. You had to actually get out of your house and go, right?
I know.
Right. It was fun.
And like with like you're saying, like with Prom Night 2 out everywhere now. Like all you have to do is go on television and click, and your picture is right there with the movie. When you go shopping and stuff, does anyone ever like recognize you as Mary Lou from the movie?
No,
Oh,
well, it's
really?
like 35 years, right? No, nobody's ever. I mean, back then, yes,
Yeah.
like be on a plane or something, and somebody asked me, I'm like, well, how did you know? But yeah, yeah, I would always be surprised. But no, not now. I don't know,
Okay.
right? It's what is it, 35 years?
Yeah.
Right? My kids are older than I was when I did that movie.
Oh,
Right?
wow.
My own children, right? Or old. I was like 24, 25, right?
Okay.
Right? So it's a while ago. Most of us changed quite a bit over time, right? We've
Well,
changed.
you still look great though.
Oh, thanks for my old age. I do. Thank you. 58, almost 59. Yeah, but I'm in the health.
Yeah,
field.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, what about songs and stuff? Like, what kind of music do you like? What's on your playlist and stuff like
Oh,
that?
that's a good question. Gosh, I like really eclectic music. I like all kinds of music. What's on my playlist? Oh, just probably stuff nobody has heard of. Like I really like. Well, okay, what you've heard of? I like Florence and the Machine. That's one of my favorites. Like if I have to listen to up music, You probably
Okay.
know Florence and the Machine. I think she's British. You know
Oh,
her?
okay. Okay.
Her image is sort of dark. She's sort of a little gothic. I really like her music a lot. So that's what I would play for uplifting music. I like I like all kinds of like tango music. I
Mhm.
like I like a lot of Canadians. I love Leonard Cohen and Patrick Watson. And I don't know, you guys down there probably don't know a lot of Canadian music, but we
I
have a
know.
lot of wonderful, amazing. I mean, you know, Drake, right? Or The
Well,
Weeknd.
yeah, of
I love The
course.
Weeknd.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love The Weeknd, and he's Canadian, Toronto. Like, there's just a lot of great musicians up here, and I just love the music that
Nice.
we have. Yeah, I like Americans too, but I'm just saying we also have our own
Well,
collection.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So you're not a Justin Bieber fan, right?
I just finally heard a song because it was on the radio. I'm like, oh, well, that's what he sounds like.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, he is Canadian too, actually.
yeah, he is.
Yes, he's just too cute for me. He's not like really too cutesy. If you're like teenage girl or something like that. I like, yeah. No, I prefer more the style of music of like more like a little more edgy, a little more like hip hop. I like a little more, right? I like
Yeah.
that more. I don't know, maybe he's trying to be that. Maybe he's like, but he doesn't get there for me. He doesn't
You got
too cute. I don't like that cutesy music. It's fine for a kid, it's fine.
well, yeah. I mean, that's mostly his fan base is like teenagers,
Yeah,
preteens,
yeah,
20 something year olds. Like,
yeah,
that's basically his like fan base.
yeah, yeah. Not for me. Yeah, there's some, come on. Yeah, but I do like there used to be a guy called Chaos here who I really liked him. Yeah, I know when we finish this, I'm gonna go like, why didn't I remember so and so? But I do. I have
Right.
to look at my playlist here to remember. Oh, what's on that playlist? Like, I do listen to a lot. I listen to a lot of podcasts too. I
Okay.
get a lot of information besides listening to music. I'm really grateful to all the podcasts. I love them.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
And are you a big like television show person? Like, do you binge watch? No, you don't binge watch anything.
Ask me. I don't know anything. I don't know what's on. I have no idea. Don't ever watch nothing.
Oh,
Watch
really?
anything. No, I read. If I have time, I
Yeah.
read. I just like to read. I prefer to read.
What kind of books do you like to read? Like, is
Oh,
there like
yes, me. That asked me even. What am I reading now? Oh, I'm reading now. There was a book that, if for those people that are readers, last year one of the most popular books was called A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor
okay?
Tolls. So I'm reading his next book. So I usually read what's bestseller kind of literary books, like big, thick, beautiful books that you can dive into another world for a while, and like that's relaxing to me.
Oh,
Just dive
nice.
into it. I think when you read, you use your imagination. Like
Well, yeah, of
watching
course.
something, it's somebody else's imagination that you're watching, right? They conceive this in their imagination, but I like my own imagination. So I think it's a healthy place to hang out for a while. We all
Oh,
need to
definitely.
be with our own imagination. Yeah. So
Nice.
as a reader, so sorry I'm not fun when it comes to TV or I don't know anything at all. I'm out of it, which is okay.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, to a lot of people, books are just as fun as watching television or more fun because, like you said, you create your own story.
Yeah, you see it. And sometimes they make a movie of a book that you've read and you're like, that's not how I saw that guy or girl.
Right.
It's not
Right.
my picture. Actually, sometimes it's like that in real life too, because before I saw you, I
Uh-huh.
had my own picture of you, right?
Okay.
Emailed, and then I had to like readjust. I'm like, I had a very clear picture of what you look like and everything based
Yeah.
on emails. I'm like, and then I had to adjust to like the real you. I'm like, where's the other Rocky? I know it sounds so weird, right?
I
You have a
know.
picture, this Rocky looks like how old he is, like
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the pictures of him. And then there's the real Rocky. I'm like, oh, gotta go. So there's two Rockies. Okay?
Yeah,
One I imagine and the reality. This is weird. You know what I mean? You
Oh
probably,
no, trust me.
but
Yeah,
you kind of already
definitely.
kind of knew who I was a little bit.
well,
But you
yeah,
had
yeah, of
just the old
course.
me. You knew the young me, and you have like, oh, that Lisa and this one, they're the same person. It's just in between is time.
Yeah, but
Elusive thing called time that we're living in, right?
I mean, like I was saying, there isn't much of a change. Like you still look great yet, and there's not much of a change from like the
Well,
Mary Lou you to you.
that's good that I'm recognizable, isn't it? Because there are
Yeah,
some people who are not.
yeah, that's true. You're right about
I
that.
think that should be the goal. I'm recognizable later, right? If you can do that, you're doing really, really well. You're somehow keep right.
Mhm.
Where is that person,
I
right?
know, right?
But life does that. It takes its toll, right?
It does. It does. You're right.
It's
You're
really
right.
cool. We're all going through this really intense time right now, and
I know.
whether we're aware of it or not, we're all affected, right? It's taking its toll in some way, right? There's people going through like mental health
Mhm.
challenges because of being isolated, right? So like,
Oh no, I know.
you know, it's been hard for people, you know, and it's had an effect on everybody. And so we've changed, whether we like it or not, we've all changed because
Oh
of
yeah, like
the pandemic, right?
ever since this whole thing happened, everybody changed. Like no one's the same, and you're right. Like a lot of people have suffered from it, like mental wise and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah, and it can be subtle, but you're not even aware, like this got you down. Or I find with older people, like, you know, who live alone, they become more
mhm.
isolated, and that affects their cognitive ability, like all of that. It's got these huge repercussions that are, I mean, mostly we know about COVID and what,
Yeah,
you know, somebody who got ill, but what about all the other sort of more side effects of COVID, right?
I
That
know.
have affected most people, or businesses, of course, we know the economics, but just the fallout of COVID, or friends you've lost because
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
disagreements, right?
Exactly.
Around the vaccines, or, you know, it becomes very divisive, that word divisive, right? You believe this, they believe that.
Yeah.
And then there's no kind of middle ground around that. So it's been a really hard time. I think the only beautiful thing that has come out of this time is Zoom. Is
You
the
know,
fact
that's
that we
true.
can Zoom. That's the
That's
one
true.
like silver lining of the whole pandemic is we're meeting up in this way, which you and I
Exactly.
didn't know about before. A
Exactly.
few people knew about it. We were doing their own, you know, businesses and webinars. But for the mainstream people, we didn't know about Zoom. Now every single person knows about Zoom. Don't you wish you had bought stock in
Oh,
Zoom?
tell me about it. But I mean, no one knew we were gonna get hit with a
We
pandemic.
didn't know, we were in the beginning, and I went on right away. I shifted my business to Zoom right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, we're all just kind of living through it, making
Oh, I
doing
know.
our best,
I know.
doing our best, right?
And like I was telling you before we went live, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have known how to work Zoom.
Yeah, I shared it with a few people. I had to hold their hand and say,
Yeah,
like, if I can do this, you can do this, okay? I am not a
exactly.
technical person. If I can figure out how to use this, anybody can. And I figured it out like right immediately. I don't even know how I knew. You know when you just know something?
Uh-huh.
It was like, look, they just mentioned this, we're gonna be going into this possible pandemic.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
oh, I better do something like now. And literally from one day to the next, I'm like, I'm gonna get on this Zoom. I've heard about Zoom. And I
yeah,
was on
right.
it so fast, I have no idea, like it was March, it was about March 18th, 2020. And I think the pandemic was about a week old since they announced like we're going into something really here, you guys. And yeah, it shifted. So the word is, and it's so overused, and I'm gonna use it, and you're gonna be like, oh, I'm so done with that word. Pivot. Pivot, right?
Mhm,
We all
mhm,
pivoted, and if I
mhm.
hear that word again, I'm gonna be like, please don't tell me you pivoted. Okay, so we pivoted. And we might have to pivot again as we go back, right? We're just like, right. So you can see who was how flexible you were,
Oh
right?
yeah, of course.
How you
Yeah,
could shift, right?
yeah. I mean, once you show me how to use Zoom, and that's how I'm doing like all the interviews now. Like you definitely started me on the
Oh,
Zoom path to do interviews for the show, and that's
great.
awesome. Thank you for that.
So sweet. Thank you. I'm super glad that that kid worked out for you.
Yeah,
Great. I mean, you would have learned it
worked
from
out really
somebody
well.
else, but I'm glad I was a part of it, right? So that's cool. Thanks. That's really great. Yeah, I'm grateful to you. You've been great. Really
Thank you,
glad you've
thank
been
you.
great. Yeah, I wish you all the success with this interview and all your interviews, everything you're doing. You deserve it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, your good vibes will translate, right? You see spread in them. Got to do that. Sprinkle all the good stuff.
No, right? I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, you know.
Yeah. We all are. We all do a
Yeah.
little bit. Be generous. Be kind to other people. It's not a big deal, right? It'll come back. It pays off, right? It's like a rebound or a right a boomerang. That's it. The
Yeah, yeah,
boomerang.
yeah,
Right?
exactly. Exactly.
Cool.
And
Well, do
like
you have any other questions?
yep,
Yeah.
just one last question.
Yeah.
I know I've had you on here a while already, so
No,
I'll ask
you know
one
what?
more.
Because it's so beautiful out here, I'm gonna go back out to my garden.
Oh,
Everybody's
nice.
saying we have
Nice.
had a lot of rain and we have a few beautiful days of sun. So when
Okay.
like when it's sunny, we just go, we're gonna get it. Yeah, right? Capture that rain.
You're right. Like the one last question I got
Yeah.
is real simple question. What do you like to do during your free time?
Oh, I am so incredibly boring. I like to go for a walk. I like to go for a walk. That's what I do. I just love
Okay.
it. I just like to walk. I don't have any, special kind of things that I do. I like the very simple because I'm a nature lover.
Mhm, mhm.
I love trees. Sometimes I say I like trees more than I like people.
There you go.
And I do. I love trees. I love trees. And I plant trees. I've planted probably like 50 trees in my lifetime. And
Oh,
so I like
nice.
to just go out, look at the trees, breathe in the fresh air, be grateful to be healthy and alive and well and walking well. So that's my
Right?
big goal. If you move well and you walk well and you can just be in your body really happily, you got it all. You're blessed. So that's what I like to do in my spare
Awesome.
time. Don't need a lot of entertainment. Actually, just quiet the mind. You know?
Okay. Okay. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. That's awesome. I mean, me, I love hiking and camping and stuff. So
Oh, okay.
like I like being out in that world too, and,
Oh,
like the
great.
woods and hiking and camping and
Yeah. You know, they call that being what they call forest bathing. Forest bathing, because when you breathe in all the trees and all the whatever, I think it's called negative ions. I don't know,
oh really?
but yeah, negative ions. And the Japanese call it forest bathing. So you go for a walk in the woods and you feel like you've taken an antidepressant because you've actually like stimulated your own good stuff, right? All your good neurochemicals in your body,
That's true.
right? You
That's
make your
true.
own serotonin by going out and breathing in that beautiful air. That's what you've done. So that's why you feel so good afterwards. Forest bathing.
Ah,
Yeah.
you know that's funny you say that because every time you do like it, if you do take a walk through the woods or hike, camp, whatever, when when you leave, you feel better than when you
Totally.
went in.
Yeah, it's just therapy to do that. It's really, really good for your head. So if you feel down or whatever, you go out and you walk,
Mhm.
your head clears and all the stuff you're breathing in is changing your chemical cocktail, literally
Yeah,
changing
that's
how
true.
you're feeling different because that's what we are. We're like a bunch of chemicals, right? Running through us.
Oh,
And
I
so,
know.
right, and we can change that balance just by being in nature. So that's my thing. You too.
Wow.
And you have a dog too, right?
I do. I do.
What's your dog? By the
Oh,
way, I didn't see the
he's
dog.
doing good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because
so you have to walk because your dog will make
I
you
know
walk,
I have to
right?
walk in. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So your dog
I
will take you out.
yeah, that's right. When you showed me how to do the Zoom, I was holding the dog. I
Yes.
forgot about
Yeah,
yeah.
the dog was teaching me how to do the Zoom. Yes, I remember the dog. Right. And it's like, yeah, you get outside for your dog, right?
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
one of the healthiest things a dog is great for, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because you have to take him out when he has to go to the bathroom, and it's good just to make the dog walk instead of just laying around all day.
Totally. Or make
Yeah.
you walk instead of laying around all day. Yeah.
The only time I don't get to walk him is when I'm working, but luckily my mom's home. She does that. She walks him,
Oh, good.
and then when I'm home from work on the weekends, that's when I get to walk him more.
Oh, good. Good for you.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I
thank
mean,
you.
yeah, I don't want to hold you up anymore. I know you want to go outside and hang out, so
And
I'm
people are probably done listening to me anyway, so I'm grateful that you hosted this and that you invited me on. This is great.
definitely,
Cool.
definitely.
Oh, and I'm gonna do a signing thing, but I forget what it's called. There's a signing thingy. I was gonna look it up, like Zoico, I don't forget. So there will be there's like a site.
Uh-huh.
You probably know what it's called. I don't know. Somebody asked me, but I do that, and then I'll sign autographs and do
Yeah.
a little signing, like things like a little video. So if
Oh,
people connect to
nice.
that, what's it called? Anyway, I forget. I probably should know to promote it, but I forget. So I'm gonna have to find out what it's called. The thing where you sign things and you're like doing this.
Yeah,
I will be
exactly.
doing that. So find me there. Good luck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just look up Lisa Schrage and
The
autograph.
signing thing. I
Yeah.
think it was Zoco or Zoico or I forget. Somebody asked me, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. I'll do that. If they make it easy, just give me the markers, and I'll do it.
There you go.
And I had to learn all that when I got to the horror convention that you hooked me up with, right? I had to learn, those are the better markers, all the little details, right?
Oh no, yeah.
The other people around me told me, or actually the fans helped me too, right? So they all helped me with that because I was like, right?
You're probably like, okay, which marker do you want me to use
Oh
for this
no,
picture?
they're very specific. Get the right marker, doesn't smudge.
Yeah.
Anyways, I will do that, but now it's an online thing. Like
Okay.
and then sometimes people find me anyway. Some people have found me. I don't know how they do it. They find me through my other name, and they find me, and I occasionally connect with people and send out autographs. So I love doing that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, as you get to do more and more of these like autograph signings and horror conventions, and you'll find that like horror fans are the most like loyal fan base ever. It's
And
crazy.
they're so sweet.
Yes.
Sweetest people. They're not scary at all.
I know.
Exactly the opposite. They are sweetest people like the scary movies. So yeah, like you.
Thank you.
And so if people want to know where to reach me, they can ask you how to get
Well, yeah, definitely.
ask you. Yeah. So yeah, I wish you all the best with your mag and all that you're doing and all your interviews and all of that. Keep in touch.
Definitely will.
What
Definitely.
you're doing. I love that you stay in touch with me.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the interview, and happy
maybe
Halloween.
we'll get to do that movie.
Yes, we definitely have to work
it.
on that. Yeah.
That would be cool. Invite me to the party. I want to be in it.
Right, exactly. We definitely have to do it, and you definitely have to be in it.
Somebody has to write the script first.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That,
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, again, thanks for doing this, and happy Halloween.
Hey, happy Halloween to you. Have fun. Enjoy.
Thank you.
All right. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.